And intro noises. I am back, Quack, again for more subclasses for Sekiro. And this one is for a rogue. It is the Ashina Shinobi, which is, unlike the monk, which was like the parries, this is all of like the fun tools like the grappling hook, the poison sword, and all of that. And this was again made by me, and remember, hesitation is defeat. So, this rogue subclass, again, Ashina Shinobi. They're pretty much weapons. Wolf is kind of a weapon in the game. And at level 3, you get Way of the Ashina Blade. This gives you proficiency in katanas, which do 1d8 slashing damage or 1d10 when wielded with two hands, and they have the finesse and versatile properties. This pretty much means you can sneak attack with it, and it scales based off your dex or strength, but if you're a rogue, you'll probably have dex. Which is why the katana has the stats that it is, because it's more based on dexterity, not really strength. At level 3, you also unlock Sacred Charms. These are charms with battlefield prayers, and at 3rd level, you get 3 of them. 7th level, you get 5 of them. At 13th level, you get 9 of them. And 17th level, you get 13 of them. Now, this is a little weirdly scaled. You see that you get a lot more at 13th and 17th level compared to 3 and 7. And that is because later on, these get very expensive, and it's really hard to not make things overpowered when you have rogue sneak attack. But you regain all of these at the end of a short or long rest. And at level 3, here's your main thing. You get Deflection of Flowing Steel. And remember, no strike is unavoidable. It only mistimed. So this means when you take bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage, you may use your reaction to spend 1 Sacred Charm to reduce the damage by 1d10, plus your dexterity modifier, as you perfectly redirect your blow. As a result, you cannot reduce the damage in any other way. So no uncanny dodge, deflection of flowing steel stuff that I know, if you're a DM, I know one of your players is going to try it. Just tell them no, it says it in the rules. But you might be asking, hey, isn't this an ability, but better from the monk? Well, no, because this doesn't get upgraded. It has worse scaling and cannot really do anything extra. It is just a damage reducer. And at level 7, you get Tools of the Shinobi, which are your prosthetic tools if you played Sekiro. And your save DC for any of these, like some of them make you do con saves, is 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your dex mod. So the first thing is the grappling hook, or the iron talon grapple. As a bonus action, you may spend 1 Sacred Charm to pull yourself to an unoccupied surface or ledge within 20 feet. And this movement does not provoke opportunity attacks. Great movement tool if you want to get behind somebody, lets you go up small surfaces. Could be really funny getting up a building. Kind of whatever you want to do with this, you can get pretty creative with this one. Then you have the Sabimaru Fang, which is the poison sword. It is a concealed blade coated in venom, and it's refined through forbidden alchemy. Why would you have forbidden alchemy? You're not supposed to be doing that. Hey, yeah, I'm looking at you, viewer. Why do you know forbidden alchemy? You're not supposed to know forbidden alchemy. But, as a bonus action, you may spend 2 Sacred Charms to make a melee weapon attack. On a hit, the attack deals 1d8 slashing damage, and the target must succeed on a con save or be poisoned. Which, this could be a little crazy, but just having that extra damage as a bonus action could be really nice. Then we have the Shuriken Wheel. It's just shurikens from Sekiro. They work every single time. Which means as an action, you'd spend one bonus action as an action, 1 Sacred Charm to make a ranged weapon attack against a creature within 20 feet. On a hit, the target takes 2d4 piercing damage, plus 1d4 additional damage if the target is airborne or flying. It's the extra damage mechanic from Sekiro. And then the next thing is the Ashina Loaded Spear, or the Spear from Sekiro. And it's a mechanism that helps break guards or just do a little damage, and this means as an action, you can spend a Sacred Charm to make a melee weapon attack against a creature within 10 feet. On a hit, the target takes 2d6 piercing damage, and this attack has reach, which I believe means you can go through shields. Next is Flame Vent, a burst of alchemical flame used to purge monstrous creatures, or monstrous foes or creatures. As an action, you may spend 2 Sacred Charms to force a creature within 15 feet to make a Dex save. On failure, the target takes 2d6 fire damage, or half on a success. You may spend 1 additional Sacred Charm to immediately make a weapon attack against the same target that was hit. And they take an extra 1d6 fire damage, which could be pretty funny if you combine that with Sabimaru as one action, or combine that with your sword, then followed up with Sabimaru. You can get pretty crazy with the Flame Vent combos, but you're going to burn your Sacred Charms really fast. But who knows, this could let you kill a boss pretty fast if they're weak to fire damage. Next is Mist Raven. This one in Sekiro lets you move around, kind of teleport, and this does the same thing. So when you're targeted by an attack, you may use a reaction to spend 3 Sacred Charms to teleport up to 25 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. And if the attack were to hit in your direction, it automatically misses. They cannot do kind of anything about this. And this is pretty good if you're getting targeted, but you're going to run out of Sacred Charms, which means no fun Flame Vent Sabimaru combos. But it is still very good if you're having issues with always dying. Now, level 13 and 17. Here is the fun stuff. Here are some of the mechanics that were so broken in Sekiro that I had to move to the end of the subclass. And level 13 is Mortal Draw. As an action, you may spend 4 Sacred Charms to make a katana attack infused with killing intent. On a hit, the target deals 4d10 radiant damage instead of its normal damage, which at level 13 is about sneak attack damage, without actually having to sneak if your DM wants to make rules on that. And then if the target is undead, a construct, or a creature returned to life by magic, it takes an additional 3d10 radiant damage. So here's the thing about this. If you're fighting some guy who is revived by Revivify, you do that additional 3d10 damage. So if you go, wait, was this creature revived? And the DM says yes, that's an additional 3d10 damage with this blade. Because if you've played the game, it kills immortal creatures. If you have this blade, you can kill the immortal people in this game. Now, your other level 13 ability is called Anti-Air Deathblow. And remember, the sky is no refuge. So, you may jump into the air and hit an airborne creature that is 15 feet or less above you. You may spend 2 Sacred Charms to apply your sneak attack damage, even if you don't have advantage or anything like that. You just jump up and stab him in the chest out of the air. You can only use this feature once per turn, though. And now, what we've all been waiting for, a feature you get at the start of the game as soon as you get your sword, the Sneak Deathblow, or in this, the Final Deathblow, which is where you can hit a surprise creature or a creature that doesn't see you when you're not in combat if the creature has hit points equal to or less than your max hit points. And then it must make a con save. On a failure, the creature takes 10d10 damage. On a success, it takes half as much damage. And once you use this feature, you can't use it again until after your next long rest. And this could be pretty crazy, but not all that crazy at level 17. It kind of helps you getting out of those annoying combats that you don't really want to do and you just want to get to the boss. This can help with that. Or if your DM gives you a chance to talk to the really squishy boss that has 24 armor class, you might just be able to stab him and do half his health if he fails the con save. Don't worry, my DM does that to me a lot. There was no personal bias in this, but yes, you can hit it on bosses, but DMs, if you don't like this, you can always get rid of it, but most bosses will have more health than the squishy rogue. But there could always be that one boss that's super weak and gets one shot by the death blow. But with that, that is the end of the Ashina Shinobi's subclass, and the link to this will be in the description. It'll take you to the home brewery, which is what I use to make all of this, And if you're wondering where I'm getting the images, I will also link those in the description. They are mostly fan art. This is part of a Sekiro fan art. This is part of Sekiro fan art. This is from the game. And this is mostly from the game, but it's a mix of Sekiro fan art. So I'll link all the Sekiro fan art in the description. And if you happen to be one of these people who made this, and you don't want your art on this, let me know. You can email me. My email is in my channel description. If you have any problems with this, and I will go re-record the video and take it out. And if you're curious, no, I'm not making any money off this, so there is that as well. And with that, I am going to see you all next time when I come back with a Wolf D&D class, or Wolf or Sekiro, which is the actual character that will combine Ashina Shinobi and the monk subclass together pretty much and add the one mechanic we're missing. So with that, I want to thank you all for watching. This document is free in the description. All I ask is that you like and subscribe, because I'm giving this to you for free.